In this video, we are going to talk about how to use CPM's 5D process in order to solve a word problem that has to do with algebra. So the CPM 5D process is something that really is covered in chapter 5, and it looks something like this. There's the describe, draw, there is the define, the do, the decide, the declare. We're not going to use really all of these steps, but the principle, the philosophy behind the 5D process is what we want to use for these word problems. So we are also going to be creating a table that looks a little bit like this. So when I say we're using the 5D process, I don't mean we're using the actual 5D process. I mean, we're using ideas from the 5D process to solve word problems that involve a variable that's unknown. So we have a word problem here. There's a lot of information in here. And I read through it and was a little confused upon the first reading. If we break it down, I think we can figure it out together. The highest elevation in Delaware is 106 feet higher than the highest elevation in Florida. Louisiana's highest elevation is 190 feet higher than Florida's highest elevation. If you climb from sea level to the highest points in Delaware, Florida, and Louisiana, you would only climb 1,331 feet. How high is the highest elevation in each of these three states? So what is this question asking me? It's asking me how high the highest elevation is in each of the three states. So we have three states. We have Florida, we have Delaware, and we have Louisiana. And we know that all together, if you climbed to their highest points in all three of these steps, you would climb 1,331 feet. So I'm going to write total here. All three of these states added together would equal, the total, right? So all three of these states added together, their highest elevations added together would be 1,331. Now, let's go ahead and figure out the rest of the information that's provided in the problem. The highest elevation in Delaware is 106 feet higher than the highest elevation in Florida. So Delaware is going to be 106 plus Florida. And Louisiana's highest elevation is 190 feet higher than Florida's highest elevation. So Louisiana, or L, is going to be 190 plus F. And that's all the information that they give us in the problem. We still have Florida here. We don't have any information for it. So we're just going to say that it is F. I'm not sure what it equals yet, but we're going to say that it is the variable F. Now, you'll notice something here. We have some numbers and letters, and added together, they all equal 1,331. This is looking like an equation. And in fact, it is an equation. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as an equation underneath. I'm going to write F plus 106 plus F plus 190 plus F equals 1,331. Now, we learned in the last video that the first step to solving for X, actually, before I even go there, let's slow down and take a look at what we have. We have an equation here written in blue. We don't know what Florida, Delaware, or Louisiana equal, but we're going to use this information. If we can figure out Florida, maybe we can figure out the others, because the others are just Florida plus some numbers. So let's see if we can figure out Florida. And it's good because we only have one unknown number. It's Florida, right? Well, at least in the equation we're working with in blue. So we know how to solve for one variable. This is basic algebra. This is solving for one variable. This is solving for X, except instead of the letter X, it's the letter F. So let's see if we can solve for F or X by using these steps that we learned in our other video about solving for X. So step one is we are going to combine like terms and simplify. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is combine like terms and simplify. Now, in terms of like terms, I have the F's are like terms. How many of those do I have? Well, I have 1 plus 1F plus 1F plus 1F. That's going to be 3F And I also have a like term of 106 and 190. Those are called constants, or just kind of regular numbers. They're constants. They are constantly that value. And we can combine those like terms together. Let's go ahead and do 106 plus 190. I always show my work to be careful. All right, so now we have combined like terms and simplified. That step is done. And we have 3f plus 296 equals 1331. Now, the next step in solving for x is move all x values to one side. Move x to one side. Are all of the x values on one side, or in this case, the f values on one side? Yes, they're all already on the left side. So that step is already done. The next step is to get x alone. Now, is f alone over here? It is not alone. In fact, we need to get rid of two things. We need to get rid of the 296 and we need to get rid of the 3. I'm going to rewrite this over here. Now, in order to get rid of the 3 and the 296, we're going to need to do a couple of quick things. So picking back up here, we have 3f plus 296 equals 1331. We need to get rid of 296 and 3 so that we can get f alone. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to subtract 296 to get rid of it. And we learned that whatever we do to one side of an equation, we need to do to the other. So if I'm going to subtract 296 from the left side, I'm also going to need to subtract 296 from the right side. So 3f, well, 296 minus 296 is just 0. And we need to do 1331 minus 296 using our subtraction algorithm. Let's go ahead and do that up here. All right, well, I cannot take, hold on. I cannot take 1 minus 6. Let's see, I'm going to need to borrow from over here, this 3. Well, wait a second, 3 minus 9. I'm going to need to borrow from this 3 and make it a 2. I will make this a 13, but I still need to borrow from it in order to turn this 1 into an 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. 12 minus 9 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. And if I check my work by adding this number to this number, I should get this number. So 1035 is going to be 1331 minus 296. Now, this looks kind of weird putting a plus 0 here. I'm actually just going to take that away. I don't think we need that there. What I'm going to do now is get rid of, well, I only have one more number to get rid of until x is alone, or f is alone, and that's the letter f. That's the number 3. Now, in the last video, I explained that in between the 3 and the f, since they're right next to each other, there's actually a multiplication symbol in between there. We just don't write it. So I am going to undo the multiplication to get rid of the 3. I'm going to undo multiplication by doing division. I'm going to divide 3 out to take that 3 away. Now, if I take 3 away from the left side, I also need to divide the right side by 3. And so f equals 1035 divided by 3. I don't know that right off the top of my head. Let me go ahead and set up some long division. Does 3 go into 1? Nope. Does 3 go into 10? Yep, 3 times. I'm going to drop the 3. Does 3 go into 13? Yep. How many times? Well, it goes in 4 times, because that's going to be 12. That's as close as I can get. Drop the 5. 3 goes into 15. Oh, thankfully, it goes in 5 times exactly. So we are all done. Oops. And 345 is our answer here. So we got to 345. Now you might be thinking, oh, awesome, that's our answer and we're all done. But actually we're not. And that's why I really like the 5D process, because it encourages us to declare our answer. We are not finished with this. We have 3 answers in this problem. So we have 3 answers in this problem. We just found out that Florida is 345. And what is the unit in this? Feet. If Florida is 345 feet, then Delaware is 106 plus 345. I'm going to show my work for that. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to show my work for that right here. 106 plus 345. This is going to be 451 feet. And then also we have Louisiana, which is 190 plus F. So 190 plus 345. Okay, feet. Now I would need to write these out. I would say Florida equals 345 feet. And I would do that for the other 2 states as well, okay? But before I do that, and before I say, all right, we're all done with the problem, I need to check my work. There's one really easy way to check our work, and it's just by adding the 3 states together to make sure they equal 1331. So let's do that really quickly. There's never a bad time to check your work. So here we go. I'll make some space over here. All right, so 1331. So I've got 345. I've got 451. And I've got 535. All right, so this is going to be 11. This is going to be 13. And this is going to be, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we get 1331, which is our total. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we've determined the correct answer for this problem. Again, the 5D process, not exactly looking like this, but you'll notice that we were writing down the information and organizing it in a kind of table, sort of like this. And then we were using our skills that we've learned to solve for X in order to solve for those unknowns. Now, I want to increase the difficulty a little bit, but I'll probably save that for another video.